What's Vena? What's it all about? So Vena is a complete FP&A platform. It lives within the Microsoft ecosystem, and what makes it really different is its use of agentic AI. And that's AI that doesn't just respond to requests, but actually takes action. It automates workflows and gives finance teams that agility to be able to focus. They need to focus on things like strategy, or not spreadsheets, but most importantly, all built within an Excel environment. Thought it might be useful to give you a little bit of information in terms of the differences between generative and agentic AI. And I think because we're starting to see this term agentic and what does it actually mean? So generative AI is really, you can look at it on the basis of its content. It's creating content. These things like summarizing of reports, but it still relies upon a human prompting it. Agentic AI, on the other hand, acts autonomously. It's driving analysis, it's driving forecasting and reporting on its own. Quite simply, generative AI creates, whereas agentic AI delivers. So maybe that'll help you a little bit. Dig a little bit deeper into Copilot. And so Copilot itself, it's a virtual FP&A partner. It's literally like having somebody in the room with you that's an FP&A guru. It works directly inside of Vena and within Teams. So within Microsoft Teams, it's using well over now 1,000 natural language prompts to trigger the sophisticated financial tasks instantly, from automating reports to advanced analysis. And therefore, Copilot really brings financial expertise to everyone, not just the finance teams. As I mentioned, Copilot is natively embedded within Teams, where many of us are already working. So that means it's instant insights during your meetings, whether or not that's using chats or planning sessions. You ask a question and Copilot can respond with data, with visualizations or forecasts right inside the conversation, right inside the environment that you're actually currently working within. Look a little bit deeper. What does accelerating reporting mean from the Atlantic analytics agent, excuse me. So the analytic agent itself helps you surface what really matters. It's really about instantly highlighting the most relevant insights from your financial and operational data, allowing your team to focus on what's driving performance. Whether or not you're simulating a scenario or responding to maybe macroeconomic shifts, it helps you do it in seconds. You can spot trends, you can identify variances and build strategic what if models on the fly, and that's important. The reporting agent unlocks data in new ways. Anyone within the business can generate reports. You can drill down using the full capabilities, and they can do that on their own. That means fewer ad hoc requests to FP&A. And thanks to Excel Live, teams can collaborate on reports in real time directly within Teams. So for me, the real benefits to Vena Copilot come from the fact that you've got an FP&A manager on your shoulder. You can ask a question, which, for example, which product was the most profitable in Q4 of last year, and which campaign influenced that the most? I'm asking that question in plain English business sense in that respect. It's going across multiple data sources, potentially ledgers, CRM, and maybe marketing automation. And most importantly, that might not be where I finish up, where I want to finish up, because typically, it might not be my final question. Typically, I'll ask the question of somebody within finance. I need to log that. They might not be available to help me straight away. When I actually get hold of them and I sit down with them and I ask them the question, I may already have an answer. I may have an evolution of that, but actually we then get into the realms of, I've asked a question and I know it's what I asked, but it's not what I meant. So my requirements have moved on as well. So, for example, as a CRO, what you might want to do is ask that question and be able to have that information immediately available to you, and then say, right, I want to run a report because I've now got a board meeting in a couple of minutes. Koali, as you can see, are an organization based in Utah. They're a scale-up business. They're young, they're dynamic, and they're growing. And what they've managed to do is, rather than actually add extra heads on, they've used Vena Copilot alongside their finance function to be able to expand their people and give answers to the rest of the business. The reality is, this is now in use. It's genuinely now in use within over 100 Vena customers. And the exciting thing is these prompts are growing. It started off with 200. They've added another 500 quite recently, and now we're well into the thousands. So whereas you look at something like, if any of you've used either something like Google Gemini, if you've used ChatGPT, what you'll find is you ask a question, you might not particularly like the answer in the first place that you're given. But what you need to do is help that evolve. You ask additional questions, and that will grow. These prompts are prompts all around the finance function and your FP&A solution. So rather than using a ChatGPT, which goes out and finds all the information that it can in a structured way, what it cannot do, what it cannot understand, is your FP&A environment. And that's where Copilot really, really scores, because it understands that. So in summary, AgenticAI in Vena, it does the heavy lifting. It's automating routine tasks and surfacing real-time insights. It's embedded in your workflows, making your entire organization more agile, more collaborative, and better informed.